Let's talk about how to paint sculptures. So you're going to need 1 wet wipe, 2 brushes, 3 Q-tips, a little palette, some water, and the paint colors you need. You only need a tiny amount of paint. Before you paint, make sure your space and hands are really clean so that you don't transfer any paint to all of your hard work unintentionally. Now you're ready to work on the base coat only. So here I am painting the milk tea part of my sculpture. In this first base coat, I have combined paint and a tiny drip of water. So I put a little paint on my brush and then I put on some water. The downside is it will need another coat, but the upside is that makes the paint just go on a little bit more smoothly. Now most of this video is in 5 times speed, but in this small section I'm painting in real time. This would be a great time for you to put on some headphones and just kind of get into the flow. I was not able to talk at all while I did this, even though I've painted a lot in my life, just because it is such focused work. You'll notice I don't paint the bottom because that's where it needs to stand while it dries. I'll go back and paint that later. I'm giving everything a nice thin coat, not leaving any white areas. Now it's time for me to add my second base coat. So I have all my same supplies, but my sculpture's dried for about an hour, and now I can go ahead and give it that second coat. So I'm going back, and this time I'm going to wipe up before I start painting anything that I have left, like if any paint transferred, for example, to those little safety eyes. And I'm going back and covering up any white that I don't want to show on my sculpture, and I let it dry for another hour. I go back in and I paint the details. So here I am painting the cheeks. And you're going to notice that just like before, my paintbrushes and my Q-tips, I'm going back and forth. It is repetitive work, but in order to keep all those areas really fine and clean, it requires that level of attention and, kind of going back and editing any errors that you have. Now I've painted the straw and the mouth white, and I'm looking around for anything else that needs a final touch up to make it as well crafted as I can. And at the end, you will have the option to either clear coat your design or you can leave it matte. And I can't wait to see what you create.